Okay. So, welcome officially to this practice, this 30-minute restorative practice. My name is Rocio Marte, and I'm very passionate about moving slow and doing well. For this practice, I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now. We will only need a hammer, a bolster, and two blocks, but that could be like a big pillow or even a rolled blanket. And instead of the two blocks, you can have two pillows on top of each other. I think for next month, I'm going to use less professional stuff and more what I regularly use when I'm around in my room without even unraveling my yoga mat. So as we are here, I'm gonna move a little bit back so you can see me properly, and I'm gonna make sure that I am putting all my timings and all the things in place so that I know where we are in space. You don't have to do anything. And let's go ahead. And if it's available to you, I'm sitting cross-legged. Maybe you're lying down for this beginning part. And I did get some feedback forms last time, and some of you told me that breathing is a good thing to practice before or during the practice. So let's just do a little bit of breath work. It's called box breathing, samasvriti, extremely easy. We will breathe in, hold the breath when it's full, breathe out, and hold when it's out or empty. We will do 2 or 3 rounds. I will count a count of three, but you might add or take from that count. And I invite you to then later on throughout your month, before the next class, practice it a little bit. I teach very little different breath work or pranayama so that we can be very acquainted with the practice. With that said, I am closing a little bit my eyes to land and using the breath for that. So just a normal, natural breath in. Easy breath out. And then let's breathe in for the count of three, two, and one. Hold for two and one, and then exhale. Three, two, one. Hold empty. Two, one, and then smoothly breathe in. Two, one. Hold. Two, one. Empty. Two, one. Gently hold. Two, one. Two more. Breathe in. Two, one. Hold. Two, one. Exhale. Two, one. Pause. Two, one. Last one. In. Two, one. Hold. Two, one. Exhale. Two, one. And pause. Two, one. Come back to your natural breath. Maybe have your eyes closed. Maybe have one hand in your heart, one hand in your belly. And let's do that if you're not there. And my intention for this practice for all of us is to nurture where we are. The concept of taking care of who we are and where we are without having to do much to feel deserving. And in this month of May, which is where we are practicing, inviting this sense of mothering, which for me is a concept of taking care of myself or really listening to my needs and as an adult, nurturing what is here. And just here, opening this space, the circle of practice with a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Fantastic. Gently open your eyes. I'm going to go back. Just checking that we're all here and all is good. Fantastic. I'm going to come back and let's see if it's possible to bring legs, even if you're lying down on the floor, so just incorporate a little bit, just a little bit upright and bringing the blocks to the side so they're not in the way. And what we're doing is a little bit of cat and cow. I always like to move before I stay in stillness. I don't know, but you might have like achy wiggles, niggles in the body. So bring hands to your shins. Notice that there's not really much technicity here. Curl in and bring chin to chest. Literally like a very easy cat and cow. You can press your heels down. You can relax your feet. Inhale. Pull a little bit in, lift the chest, bring the shoulders down, maybe gaze up, and make this as juicy and sweet for you as possible. 4 or 5 rounds of breath, just inhaling and opening. Maybe you wiggle a little bit side to side in whatever corner feels just right. I like sometimes when I'm curling in, wiggle a little bit side to side with some 2 or 3 more. Noticing that the breath invites that invigoration of expansion, openness, and that curling in. And notice how that feels. Again, with this concept of nurturing, of mothering, you listening to what's needed, what's important. Ah, beautiful. And on your next inhalation, you're going to come a little bit upright. And then if it's possible, walk your hands. I hope that that's okay. To walk hands through your legs and we're curling in. I sometimes shimmy a little bit my butt cheek to have the space. I have the blocks here. Sometimes the floor is too far away and I do a little bit like a stack fold. But if that's it's too much trouble, it is for me today. I'm just letting my head hang for a moment. We would not hold this shape for long. We're just having a couple of rounds of breath and noticing in the back of the ribs, in the back of the chest, a sense of hugging yourself from the back as you breathe in from the back ribs. And as you breathe out, maybe softening inwards. That's it. Back of the heart expands. Deep breath in. And maybe you soften. Notice that there's no effort, there's no pulling, there's no doing. We're just breathing in and expanding. Gently letting it go, softening it down. 2 more just like that. Find rhythms of breath that are perhaps deep or perhaps shorter. Attentive listening to what is here. And then lovingly pressing hands on your legs, on your feet, lovingly walking yourself back, slowly, slowly, slowly. And just for a moment, pull a little bit through the shins and the hands and bring yourself upright. And have a moment here. Maybe you bring one hand to your heart and notice what's happening in the back of the spine, in the front of the torso, mothering yourself, tending to you. Deep breath in. Noticing your heartbeat as you breathe out. Slowing things right down. Last one, just noticing the heartbeat. So nice. And then with that other hand towards your heart, and bring your chin towards your chest and say mentally to yourself, I am doing great. I am doing great. This concept of you caring for yourself, tending to yourself, and really celebrating, acknowledging you are here in this practice today. You are trying the best that you can. That's all about sprinkling up compassion, lift a little bit the chin, bring arms beside you, and then roll over to one of your sides. And I'm so used to do my practices in like a darker mode, so much light. Uh, I'm bringing my 2 blocks in between the bolster and yeah, between the bolster and the block. I'm gonna bring my arm. Maybe again, you have a roll blanket, and this is where we stay a little bit longer, our longer poses. So bring that right arm. I'm doing the right side, but you can do the left, and allow the right cheek to rest on the block. As you can see, I'm wiggling around until that bolster is just right under the ribs. If you have boobies, it's beside your boobies. I like to bend my knees. Just check. Some people like to have that top knee behind and make it a little bit more intense. If you do that, have some support. I'm going to keep my knees together. And I'm giving you 2 options. Maybe that arm is beside you, and that's more than enough. Maybe you bring that top arm behind you and stretch it a little bit, like half of a little bit of a stretch, and then a resting place. I like to, if I have a blanket or something, to support my elbow behind me. It's very nice. This is where I like to stay. It's very sweet for my top shoulder. Or perhaps if you feel like it, if your shoulder is asking you to, you might bring that arm up and over. But make sure that it's resting somewhere in the head, in the temple. So it's like, I like to call this like being at the beach, waiting for the people to come. If you're sharing with someone, waiting for the kids or the partner, and just lying down in a way that allows support in that temple. And as we heal, just checking with the time that we're spending in the shape, we spend a good about of 5 minutes here. We have plenty of time. So you just check if it's possible to close the eyes, to settle in the shape, and you have total permission. Of course, you are at home. And even if you were not, if you were me live in any of my classes, you have total permission to change your mind with the arm, change your mind with the leg, maybe even have an exploratory adventure and move a little bit the arm side to side or do some circles until you just find that exact point. I am changing a little bit and keeping my arm beside me, moving a little bit the head up so that you can hear me well, and also it's nice for my neck. And then in this restorative practices, the main tool that we have is the breath. So we can notice perhaps with this support, with that blanket or pillow that you might have under your ribs, notice the ribs that are closest to the floor, and from those ribs, the bottom ribs, deep breath in and deep breath out. And I'm thinking lately throughout this month, this sensation of hugging myself from within. So the top ribs, from the top ribs, as if you're hugging yourself from the sides, deep breath in. That's it, a deep breath out. Bottom ribs, top ribs, just find what is exactly the perfect spot for you to rest with the breath. Sometimes there's an easier place that you can notice where there's expansion and softening. And then we start to get used to, as we are practicing together and even in this online space, to allow silence and space. We make sure to be very vocal when we're doing the other side. And we allow the beauty of letting the body settle, letting the mind rest in the breath. And if the mind is a little bit like a puppy or a child that runs away towards some other places to think about other stuff, you just smile at your mind, and whenever you can come back, just notice if you're here, lying on the floor, breathing in, lying on the floor, breathing in. 2 more minutes here. Awareness of your breath, awareness of where you are. We just stay here. We're not going anywhere. We're just breathing into the nose, collecting the mind from wherever it was and breathing out through the nose. And then as we're here, I want you to find that top arm, whatever it is. It might be up and over, it might be beside you. I just wanted to bring it to a place that is easier, the easiest version of this shape. Bring that arm beside you or in front of you. And then just nestle up in the shape. Could have the potential, your life has the potential to be less to be simpler, to be easier. We're just staying here for a couple of breaths, perhaps noticing the blood flow coming back. I'm noticing something in my spine, resettling from that stretch. And the body has this system, it's called homeostasis, which is the capacity of coming always back to balance. We, in these practices of rest, of slowness, we are able to be witness of the blood flow coming back. We have a little bit of um, a sensation of a stretch, how the arm, the blood flow comes back. And that's the body on its own. We're not doing much. We're just here observing and also breathing in and breathing out. We are moving slow and with attention to rolling over, gently pressing one hand on the floor and rolling over into our second side. Some of us like to roll through the front or through the back. You just take your time to roll over. Since I am here with you, I'm gonna bring my props, my knickknacks to the second side, but you just roll over so that bolster comes to that other side, that other ribs of yours that we have two sets, left and right. Extend that arm in between the support of the head and the support of the ribs. And then wiggle, perhaps the ribs, the legs, the hips, just right. Have a conversation with the neck. Make sure that your neck is happy in whatever location you have it. And then maybe this arm requires something different. Maybe the arm by the side, it's more than enough. And you want to stay here for the 4 or 5 minutes that we're spending in the shape. Or maybe for you, it's better to bring that arm behind you. I was getting excited, moving things. That's it. Maybe just spend a couple of moments, or maybe just stretch the arm up and over. You have a feel. And as we did before, maybe you have an exploratory journey of here, there, until you just get it right. Nothing more, nothing less. And as we did before, can you the connection of those bottom ribs and the breath, those top ribs and the expansion of the breath. And is it possible to visualize yourself breathing and hugging yourself from the sides as you are allowing the breath to be conscious, to be witness, and perhaps maintaining a curious possibility of staying with the breath, aware of the ribs, of the expansion. Three to 4 minutes here, just noticing. Notice your breath. Notice where you are. The beautiful thinking mind can go so far away, but can we stay and come back? Deep breath in, deep breath in. And then that arm, whatever it is, maybe say beside you, or perhaps up and over, bringing it to a place that feels easy. Perhaps you roll over a little bit towards the front and just enjoy something sweet on your side for a couple of rounds of breath as you integrate this side, as you witness yourself in the same place, but in a easier version. Where is your breath? And where are you? Nurturing, mothering, caring you for yourself as you tend lovingly to your ribs, to your breath, to your body. Hmm. Now we will slow move towards our last shape. So gently press hand on the floor, lift a little bit through the torso, and we're coming towards our practice of Shavasana. I am moving my blocks that I have away. Maybe for you it's a pillow. And I'm just bringing my legs over. The intention is to just find some support for the back of the legs. It's usually very nice for the hips. When we have supported the back of the legs, the spine rounds less on the floor. We're just coming to lie down on our back. I do have a cheeky, sneaky pillow because, of course, pillows are the best. And we're just coming to lie down on our back. Look at yourself, wiggle a little bit the shoulders, maybe move the head side to side. I don't have it yet with me, I will have it soon, but maybe you place a face mask over your eyes, or perhaps you have a little bit of clothing that you can place on top and allow yourself to be in a little place of darkness so that the uh, vision, the concept of vision, the sense of vision allows the nervous system, when it's switching off, that you are slowing down. Shavasana for 5, 6 minutes. And as we drift away and I got you all here, we'll read to you some words that I read this morning that inspired me for this practice. It's from the book of Bell Hooks, All About Love. Very short phrases from Jack Kornfield. It is possible to speak with your heart directly. Most ancient cultures know this. We can actually converse with our hearts as if it were a good friend. In modern life, we have become so busy with our daily affairs and thoughts that we have lost this essential art of taking time to converse with our hearts. What a lovely thing. I'm lying down back in my Shavasana with you, thinking in that conversation with the heart. Maybe not even speaking, just letting the heart be your lullaby. Noticing your heartbeat, noticing your breath. And in the practice of Shavasana, it's a dissolving of any control. So then you let go of the heart and the breath. Just see and notice yourself dissolving into open space. You notice your body here lying down on the floor. Give yourself a deep breath in. Open mouth and sigh it out. Ah, through you, through rest, something has passed through. Not holding, just breathing it in and letting it go. Ah, you might stay here for some moments as you finish the practice, or you might wiggle the fingers and toes and close and rest. And you might want to stretch your arms and have a little bit of a stretchy stretch. This was the practice that you so suggest have a 30 minute of a little bit of a catch up with rest. Perhaps before going to bed, you might hug knees with your chest, gently rock side to side, roll over to one of your sides, spend there just a moment, hugging your heart as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Again, you might stay, listen to me as you stay on your side. You might come upright. I am coming upright just to salute you, just to make sure that with a lot of love and appreciation, offer you my gratitude. And invite you to listen again to those words of Jack Kornfield as we finish. It is possible to speak with our hearts directly. Most ancient cultures know this. We can actually converse with our heart as if it were a good friend. In modern life, we have become so busy with our daily affairs and thoughts that we have lost this essential art of taking time to converse with our heart. So for now, lying down on your side and maybe seated if you are, bring one hand to your heart. Notice your heartbeat. Notice you're attending, you're listening, and this sweet conversation that is able to be open when we rest. Offering gratitude for this, two hands to the heart, and we breathe in. And we gently breathe out. Deeply grateful for your practice and hoping to see you next time, maybe next month, as part of this monthly practice of rest on Friday night.